Hi, welcome. My name is Dale McCluskey, and on this video I'd like to take a few minutes to discuss my new book called Mind and Body Kinetics, a Relational Dog Training Guide. What this book does is it lifts the curtain on the very special and profound connection dogs share with us through nature and through the pack relationship. And what I show dogs beyond the ideology and methodologies involved. I show them as the unique relational beings that they are, and what is really at work when it as it relates to impacting a dog's decision-making process at the unwanted behavior level. So I'm just going to go through and just give you a little bit of an overview as to what is covered in this guide. What I show is a relational picture of dogs. I present them in that context, and I connect these relational dots throughout this guide for dog owners. I go through and I just explain how I came about gaining insight into this connection issue, what it represents, and I help dog owners and trainers start to see behavior through the relational lens. What I do here too within this guide is I actually contrast the models. So what I do is I show the relational model side by side with the learning-based model, and I break it down and I show what I'm following and why. You'll be able to see the differences between both, and exactly when the split-offs happen. I show those as it relates to, and I talk about this in the book, the physical response and relational disconnect that can happen, and that's a real big important issue that this guide provides insight with. What I show here in this guide is that I show training as an intervention, because that's really what it is. It's an intervention at the relational level. I explain exactly why that is. I talk about ideology, crisis that's going on in the dog training world, and why how we think is so important, and what certain ideologies represent at the relational level. What the system follows and aligns with, and I explain this, is the parenting model in the human world. I show the connection with that, I show the parallels with that, and so it's an example that you can use and refer to if you're seeking out an example that will help make sense of what I'm showing and presenting. Here I'm showing just sometimes things aren't as bad as they appear. I show this whole relational issue in that context. So when it's talking about people's personality types, I show the context of that. Codependent connection, I explain what that represents as it relates to the psychology involved. There's a lot of deception when it comes to nature. You have to be, again, looking through the relational lens to be able to interpret what's happening. I help you do that. Baggage, again, I talk about when you're getting a dog from the rescuing a dog, why it's important about how you think. I talk about this issue of relational misfire. We talk about the whole issue of stress and anxiety and even fear. Why understanding this relational issue is absolutely critical if you want to understand this whole issue of fear with dogs. Relational mirror, I explain what this represents relationally, this type of mirror image that happens through what's established by the dog and owner. And even if you want to understand why people look at, say, calming signals, I show you exactly how the physical part of how a dog responds mirrors off what's established relationally, and so it helps you put everything in the right context. Temperament, I discuss what that represents. Object lesson, I go through this whole thing about dogs objectifying, what that means. A glance becomes more, that's part of it. Praise and reward, just discuss about the context of what that represents for within putting it in relational context. A relational model. So what I do is I put this up. Again, there's a graph there, there's a breakdown of the model I'm following, and I present that and I go through it. What follows that is what I refer to, and this is a central theme to my model, is what I call follower moments. So I define it, what they are. They're relational, they're influence based at the relational level. It's relational influence, and I even make the distinction between relational influence and corrective influence, and then again apply that to the models, and show a kind of a sliding scale almost as it relates to creating relational change. And that's a pivotal point. The moment itself, moment of influence, I explain the dynamic with that, what that's doing and why. Application of method, I break down, I show a couple of the methods that align with these follower moments, what they're doing. Kinetics, part of my book follows using kinetic energy. I explain what that is. Painting a relational image, that's part of it. Show exactly how you think plays a role with that. Relational triggers, that's part of it too. I explain what that represents with how a dog's mind can become empowered through different associations. And structure, I talk about structure as well within the context of creating relational change, how that is set in motion. And what's not listed on here, I talk about what I give those who purchase the book. There's several video links, so you actually can click on those. Your YouTube, through YouTube, they're private links, but you get them through the book. And there's probably about an hour and a half worth of links or video instruction information that applies to several of these topics within this book. So you're able to see me, and I'm at a chalkboard and I'm talking, explaining some of the stuff in depth, so you get just kind of reinforces what is presented in what I'm showing. So but I'd really encourage you to check this book out. You're going to find there's things in here you're not going to find. I mean, this really lifts the curtain on dogs as relational beings. I mean, some of the contradictions that if you're a trainer, you'll see them, certain dots that you don't quite connect. I show how that works. I provide answers as to the breakdown with learning-based theory, why it breaks down at the relational level. I show the intersecting points with that. So this book has really profound information in it that's really going to help you understand behavior from the relational level, because what I show is that's really what is at work. No matter what the methodology and ideology is, relationally, dogs are relational beings, and that's how their decision-making process is influenced. So again, you can purchase the book. It's available directly on my website, www.k9pack.com. It's available for purchase through my website, through PayPal, and again, Mind and Body Kinetics Relational Dog Training Guide just released. I encourage you to check it out. Take care. I hope you have a great day.